All right, again, we are going to identify the domain and range of this graph. So we want to identify domain by starting at the left and working our way to the right. I run into the graph for the first time at -2, and then over here, the graph itself, I can't see it anymore, but we have an arrow here. So this arrow means that this just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. It never ends. So if we have an arrow, that means that we're headed towards an infinity. Since we ran into the arrow on the right, that means that we're headed towards a positive infinity. So if we want to write this answer in set builder notation, our domain is all real numbers x such that we only have one number. We only have -2, and then we have an infinity. And so the way that you write an infinity is that you just put in the one number and its relation to x or y. So we know that x is greater than or equal to -2. How do I know that it's greater than? Because it exists to the right where the bigger numbers are. So that is our domain. Remember that in set notation and inequality notation, we never actually use the symbols infinity or negative infinity. That only occurs in interval notation. So you just use the one number that you have and state its relation to either x or y. Now let's go ahead and look at our range. So I'm going to start at the bottom at -infinity, and as I move up and up and up, I first run into the graph right there at the x-axis. So I'm at y equals 0. And then if I continue up with going towards the top, I stop seeing graph here at 4, but again, I have an arrow. And since it's at the top, it also means, just like the other one was positive infinity for going to the right, this one is going to be positive infinity because it is the top number that I saw. So what I want to do is write that in our set builder notation, all real numbers y such that, and because I only have one number, I just need to state the relationship of that number to y. So the number that I have is 0. And the relationship that I have, remember that if you just run into the graph, it's like a closed dot, so because it's continuous there. So we have a greater than or equal to 0 in set notation.